Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm Ollie Davis. There's an argument that there are no real heels out there anymore. People cheer AJ Styles when he's meant to be a bad guy. They laugh with Team Kevin and Chris. The guy who gets the most genuine heel heat is the guy WWE have positioned as its top babyface star. So let's all take a moment to appreciate former NXT Tag Team Champions, The Revival, being really good heels. After TM61's Shane Thorne suffered a knee injury, it's been announced he'll be out of action for 7 to 9 months by NXT's Twitter account. To which his storyline foe, The Revival's Dash, savagely responded, "With your free time, can you go vote for us, Shane Thorne? NXT Tag Team of the Year, The Revival. NXT Match of the Year, DIY vs Revival." After sliding down the most watched WWE Network shows last week, the Wrestling Observer newsletter is reporting NXT has now gone back up to the number 2 spot. The network's most recent weekly in-ring edition, however, 205 Live, has slipped down to its lowest place entry yet, being only the 10th most watched show behind 4 old Royal Rumble pay-per-views, the UK tournament, NXT and Ride Along. This is not good for a show that's meant to be driving new subscribers to the network. Even more notable, Talking Smack without Daniel Bryan for the 3rd week in a row, and Main Event didn't even crack the top 20. Dave Meltzer expanded on how 205 Live and the Cruiserweights are being received backstage in WWE, reporting that there has been a doctrine in recent weeks to keep the Cruiserweight matches on Raw much shorter, which isn't exactly the best way to promote 205 Live. Even though the Rich Swann Noam Dar match went a full 5 minutes on this week's Raw, practically the entire match was taken up by a commercial break. Meltzer speculates this could be because the Cruiserweights have been rating badly in the quarter-hour viewership breakdowns. But Triple H's resolve remains firm. In yesterday's conference call ahead of this Saturday's NXT TakeOver San Antonio, Hunter answered a question about how the Cruiserweight division has performed since it was brought back. "I think it's clearly a work in progress. I still believe in that show. I have high hopes for that show. I think it's one of those deals where a few years from now, it just feels like a staple part of what we are and what we do and has a really robust following. That's truly my belief." But what about Triple H's pet project, NXT, a promotion whose buzz has quietened considerably since last year's brand split raided its roster? "I'm not happy with where it is right now by far. I want it to be much better than it is, but it's a rebuilding process. All these things going on, they all make changes in the ecosystem. Where everything lands at the end of the day is a moving target." What was most interesting to me, though, was when PW Insider's Mike Johnson confronted Triple H about WWE's expansion in the UK. Specifically, WWE contracted talents being pulled from independent shows. Triple H, and now is probably a good time to point out one of his nicknames, the Cerebral Assassin, replied that contracted wrestlers not being allowed to work any shows that are taped for streaming, broadcast, any form of distribution outside of what happens right there live was always a part of the agreement. And now the independent promotions are trying to change that based on the UK tournament's success, and are making WWE look like the heavy-handed bad guys. Coming out the other side of the UK tournament, there is a lot of confusion. It's not on our side, it's not on the talent side, I believe. It's on the promoters' side, who just kind of change things and do things however they want to do things. You're right, Triple H. I've got no idea where all this confusion has come from. It's almost like your right-hand UK man, William Regal, told one of this country's largest wrestling promotions, WCPW, whose whole product is based around streaming their shows, that there is zero restriction on anybody working anywhere. They are free agents. But as we already know, WWE has a very warped idea over what free agent means. How would you make NXT the hottest product in wrestling once again? Tell me about your glorious ideas in the comments below while giving me your TakeOver San Antonio predictions. Dominant Wrestling will be broadcast live on Spike TV in the UK the night of NXT TakeOver San Antonio at 8 p.m. GMT, featuring Rey Mysterio, Johnny Mundo, Drew Galloway, and more. Spike UK is channel 31 on Freeview, 160 on Sky, and 154 on Virgin. If you want to watch a video where I totally called WWE doing what they're doing right now to the UK scene a month ago, or the latest plans for WrestleMania 33, click the videos to the left and subscribe. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.